Chrismahaunakwanzakah, folks. We are live here for our Christmas episode. We are joined here with our good friend Colin.
Hello.
And of course, the usual suspects. I'm Christian, and I'm joined here with Vito.
Yo.
And Joe.
Hey.
And today we're going to be discussing some Christmas stuff and some stories, some bullshit, best gifts, some movies. What else do you guys want to talk about? Maybe some eggnog tales. Because I got an eggnog tale that'll,
I thought you wanted to talk about
pucker your guys' peckers.
gnarly injuries. Recently injured Christian.
Workplace injuries. And So before we get too in depth with the Christmas, so it's kind of eerie. This is a little bit spooky for me, right? So 2 years ago, I went to Leavenworth for their fucking Christmas lighting and all that nice holiday Christmas stuff. Nice little trip with the family, come back home, go to work. First day back at work, I cut half my fingertip off and have to get it sewn back onto my hand. And, 7 stitches through my fingernail. And so that was 2 years ago. Like, to this day, actually, like, looking back at it, it's the 22nd, I believe. Mm-hmm. 2 years ago today, I cut my fingertip off. So, with that being said, on Tuesday, I go to work after going to Leavenworth for the Christmas lightings, but we couldn't get into Leavenworth because of the traffic. So, it was a good trip, a nice family trip out there in Eastern Washington. Spent a couple nights out there. Came back home, enjoyed my last day of vacation, went back to work. Punched my hand slipped on a cutting board, and I punched a metal corner, a jagged metal corner that, work always loves to have around.
I know, that place is a death trap.
It's just... So, of course, it was right above the cutting board I was grabbing, punched right into it, and the jagged metal corner went all the way down to my knuckle. And thinking it wasn't too bad of an injury, I sprayed it off in the sink with the hose. Of course, that strong blast of didn't really tickle my fancy too much. And then right when I was done cleaning it didn't bleed. It didn't bleed at all. All I could see was just straight down to the bone.
Ooh.
And I was like, yeah, that's it's a small cut, but I think we're gonna need to go to the hospital on this one. I got 3 stitches on top of my knuckle. So, as far as inconvenient, avoidable injuries, have you guys ever had any of those kind of deals?
Vito, didn't you cut your hand on the slicer a day after Christian cut his hand on the slicer? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember because I was a supervisor.
I put 6 tomatoes on the slicer instead of 2.
Trying to cut corners, man. Yeah, that's when I was the supervisor when I banned everyone from cutting tomatoes because you guys couldn't keep your fucking blood off.
And then
they're red. It just kind of makes it.
A couple of months ago, I cut my hand cutting a stale piece of bread. And the knife jumped off the bread because it was stale.
Hit you right in the finger.
Right in the thumbicles.
I had one of those. It was it was back in May, so it was a while ago. I was cutting the spine off the salmon for poke, and it was frozen. So the knife slipped, and I had just sharpened it, went right underneath my fingernail, and hit, and I was bleeding. But luckily enough, it was an easy injury. Just a quick Band-Aid on the finger, and then that was it. But, yeah, this one was unfortunately it was an avoidable situation because I knew how wedged the cutting board was. I probably should have just taken my time and relaxed, but I was definitely en route to going on break. So I was like, I'm going to get this cutting board out, and then I'm going to go on break, and then I punched the fucking metal part, and I had to go to the hospital. So, yes, I actually do remember when you cut your finger, Vito, because I came back to work after missing a couple of days, and then I was like, well, where's Vito? Oh, Vito cut his hand doing tomatoes, just like you.
Man, yeah. I mean, I worked on fishing boats for a while, so I have a million of these, but the one specific to me, Colin, you used to work on salmon boats too, so do you know what a Gilson hook is?
No, I don't. Actually.
Okay, when they're hauling up a trawl winch, they have these, or a trawl net that weighs 100 tons sometimes, they have these enormous winches with these hooks that are like, the rope is probably as thick around as my forearm, and then the hook is like the size of your head, completely out of steel. I had one of these drop on my head one time. Now, not from very far, and it was like being lowered, so it wasn't straight dropped, but I was wearing a hard hat, and it hit me in the back of the head right under the hard hat, and so I was dizzy for like the rest of the day. And then another time, I had a guy take one of these and just like throw it over his shoulder without really looking, and it swung and hit me right in the shin, and that really fucking hurt. And then I almost died twice. So the first time, I was on the weather deck, which is the very top deck of the boat, and my job was to look over the railing and like watch what fish are coming aboard. I had a bunch of like tally counters, so I'm clicking away, and the weather was real bad. And this big ass wave came and knocked me off my feet. So like I hooked my arms under the railing and my feet were up off the ground and I was perpendicular to the ground. And then when that wave went away, I'm like, yeah, I'm not working anymore today. And then the second time was I had this tote, this big like crab tote full of about 300 pounds of fish, and I hadn't tied it up right, so it came untied, so it starts sliding on the deck towards me, and like I have my back against like this trawl winch, so basically a steel wall with 300 pounds of fish coming at me, so I like dove out of the way and it went crashing into it and shattered. So I almost got crushed. So those are the times I almost died.
Jesus. You know, I was actually severely disappointed when I talked to Colin about, you know, being on a fishing boat and working out in the ocean, was when I found out that you guys didn't sing sea shanties all day and shit.
No, they just listen to like Eminem, man. And
No, my captain was more of the Keith Urban.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It falls into three camps, really, yeah. You get the new country, you get the...
Oh, wait, Keith Urban. Is that Keith Urban? Keith Urban. I'm confused.
Keith Urban is new country, yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking of
right. No, that's
Carl Urban, the actor, I think.
Yeah. I was confused, but no.
Right. It falls into three categories
Keith
typically.
Urban,
It's the new country like Keith Urban. It's the terrible white guy hip hop like bad Eminem, and then or it's butt rock like we talked about last episode. Lots of butt rock.
We
I
had
could be
sort
on a
of
boat
if there
that
was a
has
Venn
butt rock.
diagram, we would fall in an intersection between butt rock and new country.
Yeah, that's a weird combo.
That's a weird combo, but I dig
Yeah.
it because when I was doing irrigation systems last year, that's what our playlists were.
We talked about that last
New
episode.
country and butt rock, and it's funny that we had the exact same playlist. One song would be Stained, and then next thing you know, you're dealing with some like brand new country singer,
Jason Aldean or something.
or something like that, just coming out of random. So what Vito and Joe have just opened up that I'm about to open up as well. Yeah.
You worked hard for that one, bud.
It's a roasted rye IPA.
Probably because of his knuckle.
Winter warm India Pale Ale. See,
I guess it is a winter.
I'm not too good
It's actually really smooth.
with IPAs, but the last
I can
beer
try
we
it.
tried from these gentlemen at the Ruben's, it's Ruben's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Goze. Yeah.
Yeah. So we tried their beer last week. Real nice sour ale. I enjoyed it. Vito didn't like it, but
Tasted
I did.
like feet.
Vito hated it. We both liked it. Now, this is the rye IPA, which is going to be an IPA with a hint of rye bread in it, basically.
Yeah, this is really smooth. It just goes right down.
Christian is famously not an IPA fan. I can see him
I'm not.
struggling over there.
I am not an IPA guy, but you know what? It's not the worst
This
one
one
I've
isn't
had.
even all that bitter, you know?
This one's
I could
pretty
have
good.
gone crazy. I wanted to get Dayglow, but they didn't have it at Trader Joe's. So.
Dayglow.
Same
Which one is
Colin?
Dayglow?
It's Elysian.
I've had a rye IPA before, but it was by Ninkasi. It was really good.
Oh,
It's their Dawn of the Red, so it has a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
of that.
I know. Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
a
they
rye
sell that-
IPA? I thought that was a red IPA.
It's a red rye IPA.
Oh.
So I like reds, and I also like rye IPAs.
I like
so-
Ninkasi's labeling. I mean, we're trying to aim local, specific to Seattle, and Ninkasi's an Oregon brewery.
Well, I'm
but-
from Portland right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah. Got you living out there in Portland drinking all
Portlander.
those Portland beers.
Portlander.
We have more
huh?
than you.
Oregon beers.
I know. Well, we have lots, though.
We're getting there.
You guys
man.
have, like, the old school stuff, too, you know? Like, Rogue is out there, too. All right, let's not get distracted by beer for 10 minutes again. Anyone else have crazy, entirely avoidable injury stories? Or
I have a... Oh, sorry. I have an unavoidable one.
Okay.
Where I was just like walking past a bakery cart from my bagel shop job, and it was fresh out of the oven, and I just walked past it and like barely touched it for like a millisecond, and then like 2 seconds later, just a giant white bulbous mark.
Ooh, yeah.
was like 500 degrees.
That reminded me of when I was working at the Met. I was making like my 10th pasta in a row, and I was so annoyed. I wanted to get off the line. So I reached across. I had the saute pan in my left hand. I reached across it with my right, and I caught the edge of it, and I still have a scar on my arm where I just burnt it real bad. And it was like the worst spot too, because it's right where you roll up your chef coat. It's like always resting on it. There's no way I cannot touch it. Ugh.
Reaching into those big steam ovens is just a repeated. I'm surprised I don't have any more.
Oh, it makes you look like a cutter
scars.
because
Yeah.
you get those like lines.
Yeah, I think my scar's finally gone, or
Yeah.
at least just unnoticeable in my like blemished skin.
You're probably just used to
But
it.
it's like 3 years ago. It was like this big,
Fuck.
like on my arm before, and then like the size of like 2 quarters, and now it's like small enough / non-seeable enough. I just don't know where it is anymore.
Yeah,
Cool,
burns
cool.
are probably like one of the worst to have like on the body as far as like, I mean the scar I could really care less about, but like the feeling of being burnt is always just shitty.
It's the moment of realization afterwards that
It's
like,
just- yeah.
heat is put inside of you that you can't take out.
And it just sits there
Yeah.
and fucking burns. Then you wash it, and then you get this big old bubble, and it's like, ah, jeez.
There's nothing you can do about it, and it's like it's going to be painful for weeks, and it's just
Yeah.
like, especially if it's an avoidable injury, you feel so mad at yourself. Excuse me. Yeah, but burns are the worst.
I feel like cuts are scarier than burns, and I feel like it's maybe because I've gotten more burns. But
Yeah.
I feel like all the burns I've had, I've immediately run it under cold water, dried it off, sprayed it with the burn spray, and then bandaged it, and it's usually like fine the next day. Or
No,
it's like
maybe you just didn't get as bad burns as we did.
yeah, or it's like worse and like lasts a bit longer.
That was a good
But
one.
I haven't had many actual issues with burns. Whereas cuts, they like seem really scary, like open.
Yeah.
everything.
Well, the tip of the finger too is also frustrating because even if you just nick it because of the capillaries, it'll bleed forever.
Yeah.
And it's like I just want to get back to work. I've been sitting here for 20 minutes. This stupid thing is still oozing blood.
I was out for like 2
Anyways.
hours when the stale bread knife jumped on my thumb.
Well, don't use the stale bread knife. I haven't had any terrible, like, life-altering burns, but I almost had one, and I felt the moment of panic pretty hard. And that was cleaning the fryer at one time, and the floors in that kitchen are just unbelievably slippery. So I trip while I'm cleaning the fryer, and I spill some of the oil, and it sloshes up, and it goes into my eye.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And
injuries.
I can
No, thank
feel
you.
the oil in my eyelid, and I'm a little bit panicking that I'm about to be like, blind or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, speaking,
Fine. Like, there was no lasting effect.
Yeah, I've done the oil quite a few times now, and I feel like I've been popped here and there, and surprisingly not been like instantaneously
Yeah.
caught fire like I'd expect.
Now that I'm no longer working in a kitchen, like, injuries are far and fewer between, but the stakes...
as a web developer or as a software developer, yeah.
No, but I'm a software developer at a company that makes lasers.
Oh, that's
so
true.
the consequences for accidental
Shit.
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah, you mess up and you're lasering.
I want to go back.
Pecker.
I want to go back to eyes because speaking of eyes, we got a few Facebook comments here. This one's from my sister Jessica. One time she was teaching a religion class, and she had a paper in her hand, and she was gesticulating so wildly she gave herself a paper cut on the cornea.
My God.
And then Tim,
Your
Look at
family's
it.
Italian, right?
of course. Tim, my brother-in-law Tim, probably our biggest super fan, at least most active on social media, mentions when he was 16 he got a fish hook caught in his foot when he was walking around on the beach, and it took 10 shots of anesthesia for the foot to get numb enough for the doctors to pull it out. Finally, my sister Renee mentions when they were moving, my sister Jessica took one of the legs from the table, or I guess it was from the couch, and just without paying attention, just threw it over the railing. And so she was at the bottom of the stairs, and Renee was, and the couch leg comes over the railing and bonks Renee right on the head, cut her head open. Then when their nurse friend was patching Renee up, the liquid bandage he used dripped right into her eye. So it was like double whammy for poor Renee on that day. And then she also mentioned she broke her finger, only broken bone she ever had, because she tried to grab a runaway beach umbrella out of the air.
Oh
And
my goodness.
then it was heavier than she thought, so it caught her hand and slammed it down into a chair, and she broke her pinky finger. What a knucklehead.
Damn.
All right.
This feels like an Instagram-related injury.
Like trying to look cool for the gram and just boom.
Oh, that sucks. A runaway umbrella. I just
Beach
let
umbrella,
it go.
yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah. All
That
right.
thing could impale you, or it can do anything.
See, you got to use your lasso and just like
Red
grab
Dead
it
Red-
out of the
That would be pretty badass if you could catch a runaway beach umbrella with a lasso.
So I mean, obviously, you guys were we're all kids, and we're all fine gentlemen now. But when we were kids, I'm sure you guys kind of did almost the same shit that I did as far as like when it came to like fireworks and stuff like that. Did you guys play around with fireworks? Get a little stupid sometimes?
No.
Oh man.
When I was a teenager, yeah, like we used to go and buy a bunch of fireworks, and then at like midnight go to like a school parking lot and just like, shoot them off
just
and
blow them up.
yeah, we definitely had some angry adults come up to us once and be like, "What is your name? Tell me your name now."
Yeah,
Like,
So during this like little weekend I had a German exchange student. I actually think he's a listener. So if he's listening, Benedict, big shout out to you.
Is he from Germany? Is he our one listener in Germany?
He is our listener from Germany. Big shout out to him. Love that guy. He is family to us. And so it was him and me and my cousin Rodrigo. We were all being dumb as we usually were when it came to doing shit we weren't supposed to be doing. We fucking drifted in my grandma's car that we didn't even have our license. My brother was driving recklessly and we were having fun. Drifting in that Saab was badass, but my grandma really got angry about it. And so then came summertime. So then we're out for school. Me and my cousin are out for school, and then my exchange students all out for school. We lived super close to like the Indian reservation as far as like selling fireworks. So we went down there to buy the biggest thing that we can get, like biggest explosion. So we get a bunch of firecrackers and we start taking them off. You know those firecracker chains? Mm-hmm. So we bought a bunch of those chains.
they're black cats, right?
Yeah, the black cat chains.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get fireworks in New Jersey. It's
And
completely banned.
They're all like linked together by like a giant fuse. So we started taking them off individually so we could have individual firecrackers. But the problem is with these fuses, they burn like twice as fast. So it's like you light it and it's light and you toss it, and right as you toss it, it blows up. So of course we think it's a good idea to keep doing that.
It wasn't.
Spoiler alert.
So my cousin Rodrigo lights the firework, or we're talking, and then all of a sudden he lights it, and as he lights it, it just
Like right in his hand.
explodes.
Oof.
And right there is,
The JPP, man.
That right there is exactly what you don't want your parents
Hell
to have
no.
to deal with. Is they tell you don't fuck with fireworks. Sure enough, you fuck with fireworks and it short fuses and blows up in your hand. Luckily enough, it left our ears ringing for a second, and then his thumb was just black.
But he didn't lose any.
No, he didn't lose anything. His thumb was black and it was burnt a little bit. But so then we decided to keep going. And so
Oh my
we
god.
take the mortars like grenades, right? You light them, you throw them, and there are no tubes, so they're just, they fly wherever. So my exchange student lights it, and as he reaches back to throw it, the fuse touches his forearm, and he lets go of it. And we had a little goat. We had a pet goat. Shout out to the goats. Like we always
Weekly
do.
goat reference, yeah. Goats are a recurring theme on this show.
I fucking grabbed this goat. They all run inside, and I can't get in because they closed the door. So I grab this goat, and I get on the ground with this thing and hold it like it's a child. All of a sudden, I hear this mortar go off right behind me, right near my ass, and exploded.
You're in a fucking war zone.
Exactly. So all of that hot, firework mortar went up, like all over my ass, my back, and then the goat shit on me just to top it all off.
That probably scared shitless.
Yeah.
Literally scared shitless, yeah.
It's like stupid injuries that we all could have avoided as kids. Just
right.
Also, all
things
the
that
therapy for the goat.
Well, speaking of goats,
that goat got eaten alive.
those goats were a birthday gift for you, and we're about 20 minutes in. I want to transition to get some actual holiday topics on our holiday episode. So, who's got a really good story about a really good or really terrible gift?
Ooh.
Ooh, I can go first if you want. I have some good ones.
Go ahead.
So, we talked about this previously, how we all had Sega Game Gears when we were kids somehow, like the 3 kids in America. Anyways, I was like, I think I was young. Must have been like 10 or 11, and we had a Sega Genesis. And the way we used to do Christmas is like, I had Christmas with my mom, just like with my mom, and then we go to my grandma's house, which was like an hour and a half away, to do it with the whole like big extended family. And I have a big Italian family, so there were a lot of aunts and uncles and everything. Anyways, I'm opening all these gifts, and it's a bunch of like Sega CD games, and I don't have a Sega CD, and I'm getting more and more frustrated to the point when I open like the 3rd or 4th one, I like start to cry, and my mom's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "We don't have this system." And then they're like, "Maybe you should open that really big one that's addressed to all 3 of you." It was a Sega CD. I was much less sad.
We don't have this one. That's good. I mean,
They probably should have started you off with that one.
You know, I
They
feel
probably
like this
should've.
is a problem of the adults, but we were so excited. We just wanted to rip into the stuff.
it was like 2015's Christmas or something like that. Maybe like I think 2015's. I don't know what it was, but everybody in my family decided to give me Russell Stover's
Like
chocolate.
everyone?
Almost everybody on my dad's side of the family. So I went home from Christmas that night with some, I got some really good gifts that year. Of course, my girlfriend Haley gave me some great gifts. My brother got me something good. But when it came to like the extended family or like my aunts and uncles, all I got was Russell Stover's chocolate. I went home with a bag of my regular gifts and then another grocery bag almost full of these boxes of chocolate. And mind you, this is coming from somebody who hates Russell Stover's.
What?
Do not like it.
I mean, do you hate like truffles or like those like filled chocolates in general, or do you just hate
they were
Russell
all
Stover's
fucking
specifically?
cherry and caramel.
Yeah, well,
Cherry and
Russell
caramel.
Stover's are kind of like the not great,
Yes.
you know.
Like, I don't mind truffles. All right?
Okay.
If there's good, like, dark chocolate.
If it's like
truffle,
Godiva or something fancy,
Yeah.
it's just that it was specifically Russell
If it's
Stover's.
just Russell Stover's,
Got it,
it's like
got
I
it,
know
got it,
everybody
got it.
went to Walgreens like 20 minutes before Christmas. to buy a gift. And which I understand.
That's a
I
good
get
idea.
it. Christmas time.
Oh,
Christmas time
jeez.
can be a struggle, And I've definitely struggled before. I've had to make homemade Christmas gifts of like jars of salsa and jars of like preserved peppered pickled or pickled peppers, sorry. And like
Say that 5 times fast.
whole bunch of hot peppers and shit. That was my Christmas gift as I sat there at home and made these with my dad. Wrapped them up real nice, made them look pretty. But those are my gifts, so I figure everybody decided to
If you want to give me a
Probably
Christmas
Russell's.
gift, that'd be a good one.
Pickled peppers?
pickled
Yeah.
peppers. Oh, dude, if I make the pickled peppers this year, I've got a
Poppin'
lot of
pickled
people
peppers,
who
babe.
want them, and I'll definitely
Oh, he's gonna give it to you.
And
I'll
take that
give
shit.
it to you. I'll give you my pickled.
You go and give it to you.
I'll give you the most pickledest pepper in the world, buddy.
So speaking of, you mentioned homemade gifts. I got a good one here. So we all know my lovely fiance Ara. This time of year we call it Gift-a-mageddon because me and Ara's anniversary, we started dating December 21st. And then Christmas is the 25th. And then my birthday is the 30th. So it's like 10 days when all of the gifts for the year have to come.
The 10 days of Christmas.
Yeah, basically. Of Christmas-versary birthday. Or Gift-a-mageddon. Anyways, last year, this nice bookshelf behind me, Ara turned this into what she called a Radvent calendar. So she built like partitions in here and little doors made out of cardboard wrapping paper. And every day I got a different present. So it was the most awesomest gift ever. Some days it was
Wow.
like a 6-pack. She got me like a whole bunch of Mexican Squirt, which is like the world's most impossible to find soda, but the best one.
You can only find it at that one grocery outlet in South Seattle.
Well, you can find it at, I find Bartell's is your best bet, apparently. They used to carry it at the Met. They don't anymore. Yeah, she like mended a shirt in one of them. It was all
Went to
over the place. It
Bartell's
was
this
awesome.
morning to get
Awesome.
went to Bartell's this morning to get fucking finger tape for my hand to make sure my stitches didn't get ripped open during football. There was a odd looking employee there. Definitely something to noteworthy of. It was pretty odd. I can't describe it, but I was kind of uncomfortable. Anyway, Bartell's best place for
Shout
sport.
out Bartell's. Local drugstore Bartell.
Walking into a Bartell's or an Office Depot or a Staples always gives off the same kind of depressing sort of vibe.
It really
What?
does.
You got to go to the
Holy shit.
Bartell's. I mean, this is way off topic, but there's the one,
Oh
the
my
one,
God.
the one
No,
on
he's
Market,
gotta
the one on
You're
Market.
like my Bartell's.
No,
is
the
best.
one on Market, the one on Market and 15th across from the Walgreens, the like brand new one, is like super nice. It's designed to look like an old fashioned drugstore. They have like a soda fountain in there. It's really cool. That's the Bartell's to go to. Anyways, enough about Bartell's. Let's get back on topic.
I don't know. I gave a bad gift once. So this was to my siblings. I'm sorry, siblings. But so they were both like 8 and 9, and they just got a Wii, and they got all the Wii games. And the only Wii game that wasn't rated M that they didn't have was Rayman Raving Rabbids. And I was just sitting there and I gifted it to them, and they got really excited about it. And they loved it. I don't know why, but that was a terrible video game. Like,
Oh man.
I got two good stories about messing with siblings. So I have two sisters, right?
Raven Rabbit. They were happy with the Raving Rabbits.
How old are
enjoyed
they?
it.
Are they a lot
How
younger
old
than you?
were they? Yeah,
they
that's a
were like
better
8
They're-
and
they're
9.
Okay, then
And
yeah.
they talked to me when I came up and visited them this Thanksgiving. Like, you know, they're teenagers now. They're like, "Oh yeah, that was great. We love that game." And I'm like,
Holy shit.
"You like that game?" I'm like,
Jeez.
Oh.
No, I got two sisters, right? Jessica and Renee. And Jessica used to always give me a hard time because I was bad at wrapping presents. So one year I was a shitty teen and I just really wanted to mess with her. So I gave her about 20 different gifts that I wrapped completely exorbitantly. And the one that she will never forgive me for was I took a pile of hair from the shower, like old Jessica hair, and I wrapped it like 20 different times. So it was like inside a box, inside a box, inside a box. And I used like duct tape and electrical tape. So it was like impossible to open. So it took her like 20 minutes to open this wad of her own hair. I did the same thing that year to a single Cheez-It that was definitely moldy by the time she opened it.
How the fuck do you wrap a Cheez-It?
Well, you
put
wrap
it in a
it.
box?
No, I just wrapped it, and then you keep using more and more tape till you have a big ball. Don't do that. It was a shitty thing to do. Also, one time I really wanted a PS2, and it was my sister's birthday, so I bought her a PS2 for her birthday. But I wanted it to be like for me. So one day she was like, "Hey, can I use the birthday gift you bought me?" And I said no, and I bought her like Harry Potter on DVD so I could take back the gift I had bought her for her birthday and make it my own. Yeah, I was a shitty brother. I was a teen, whatever.
I gifted somebody. I mean, it was more kind of like a inside joke, but at the same time, it was more of like a gift, just because I was broke. So for like 3 Christmases in a row, my grandma got me. My grandma on my mom's side of the family got me the Da Vinci Code, the book, and she got me that 3 years in a row. So I had 3 different Da Vinci Codes. So what I did on like that Christmas was I wrapped all 3 of them. I gave my grandma one of them, and I gave my brother and my cousin Rodrigo the other 2. And sure enough, my grandma opens the book and is like, oh God. Like, this is definitely something I've given him. And then my brother and my cousin open it, and they're laughing, and they're fucking hooting and hollering. They know it's a joke. But my grandma, unfortunately, got really upset. She felt really bad. And I just felt terrible ever since, because I know that she gives me that to be like,
but she just
read
forgot.
a book, you fucking idiot, and just,
She just kept giving you the same book.
She kept giving me the same book, so I decided to re-gift it to her and then my brother and my cousin, who always made fun of me when I got it. And so it was funny. My mom laughed. Everybody had a good laugh. My grandma was really upset. She pulled me aside, and this is the same grandma that washed my mouth out with soap.
That's
And
my favorite podcast story.
So she washed my mouth out with soap and gave me the Da Vinci Code, but I still
Wow.
love that woman with all my heart. She's great.
Are you guys familiar with Hess gas stations out here? This is the East Coast thing.
No.
Hess?
No, I'm not.
Well, so they were founded by the same guy who used to own the New York Jets, so they literally have the Jets logo. It just says Hess. Anyways, every year for Christmas, they have like a holiday truck. It's like a toy truck, and these things are supposed to be collectible. So ever since I was born, I would get one for my birthday every year, or Christmas. And my parents got divorced when I was young, right? So my 2 sides of the family don't really talk to each other. One year, I think it was 1994, nobody got me the truck because like my mom's side thought my dad's side was going to get it and vice versa. So from 1995 onward, I have gotten 2 Hess trucks every single year because, you know, they got me the one from the year before and then I got 2 more. So it's always like Uncle Jeff gets me one and then Uncle Al gets me one. And
It's
since
the
then,
Russell Stovers effect.
yeah, exactly. So not only do I have one of this like very regionalized collectible, I have 2.
Do you have one like around here? Like,
I think there's one over in that other bedroom. Maybe I can find it
if you do have
on
one,
the break. Oh,
if you
yep.
do have one, you should take a picture of it and post it on Facebook.
Oh
because
yeah. Oh yeah.
It definitely should be on there. If it's Russell Stover effect, it should be on there.
Russell Stover. Oh man.
Yeah, man. I mean, sometimes Christmas can be a hectic time for everybody. I don't blame anybody for having bad gifts just because
it happens.
It happens. It's stressful. Everybody's stressed out. But you know what gift doesn't suck is Joe gave me a gift today. And it was supposed to be a white elephant gift, but I'm just going to take it for my damn self. Thank you, Joe. It is Joe's book, 101 Manatee Jokes.
Oh, Ara's got the Hess trucks out right here.
And,
so yeah, this is what we're talking about.
That is very East Coast Americana, and I love it.
Yeah, so like this one has like a Corvette or a drag racer in the back, and this one has like a backhoe. You know, I don't even take them out of the box.
We all gotta have that backhoe.
Anyways.
Have you ever taken them out of the box?
I did when I was a kid. So like the only one I have that's really worth money was the original, like 1985. It's completely beat to shit because I was 2 years old and wanted to play with it.
So here's a joke from Joe's book. Christmas present, by the way. I do like it, and I will keep it, and I will read it.
Did they fix the misprint in this one?
No, that's the OG version.
What do you call undersea sporting enthusiasts? Fanities. You know, there's 101 of these jokes.
That's one of the better ones.
It's all fun. That is a good one.
It's a good opener.
That's a good opener.
This book is available, by the way. Just Google 101 manatee jokes on Amazon, or search, I guess, 101 manatee jokes on Amazon, $12.99. It's a perfect stocking stuffer.
It's for the kids.
It's actually really funny because my sales peak every year in like late November, early December because people are buying it as stocking stuffers.
That's great.
I remember you telling me, I think in the first week of releasing, like, all of your family members bought the book.
My mom bought 8 copies. Yeah.
Right. So that was a big one. And then there was one international customer, and it was some random German dude whose Amazon cart, when he purchased the book, was like manatee plushie, manatee this, manatee that.
The manatee stuff.
Yeah. So somebody is definitely
Wanted manatees, yeah.
Wait, that was one of the first
definitely
people who
obsessed.
listened to our podcast was from...
I think that was his.
That was my-
That was
Oh,
okay.
a different German.
I don't know. Well, now that he knows the book, he'll probably be.
It could also be like I have a very German last name, you know. All right, we got a few bad gift comments here on the Facebook. First, former guest John MacBouge Nelson mentioned when he was 15, somebody got him a toy wood block truck that's designed for like a 3-year-old.
You know what? You know what? And
love
then
it.
his fucking grandfather gave him a Wikipedia, I believe, when he turned 13. They gave him a Wikipedia and they didn't know what grade he was in. So I
You
think
mean
that
like an
is hilarious.
encyclopedia?
What's that?
You mean like an
Or sorry,
encyclopedia?
yeah.
They gave him a website?
Sorry. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm dumb.
No, that actually is kind of the
it's
synonym
this,
for encyclopedia these days, so I wouldn't feel
Yeah,
bad.
it's this roasted rye IPA that actually was pretty subtle and nice. It made me dumb. But yes, they gave him a encyclopedia with pictures.
Oh,
was 13 years
so like
old.
baby's first encyclopedia. And then Tim mentions one of his
Great
exes got him a helicopter ride, even though he has a crippling fear of heights.
Oh, I would
Actually-
fucking die.
They had
I think that's incredibly petty and wonderful.
yeah. I mean,
sorry,
I think it
Tim,
was just like not paying attention.
Yeah.
He said that they have cousins. Are you guys familiar with Long Beach Island? It's like a
Yeah.
kitschy New Jersey town. The equivalent would be Ocean Shores, Washington. Every year they would get them T-shirts with like the LBI logo on them. Like, so they have all these like sweatshirts that just say Long Beach Island, and you know it's pretty tacky.
LBI.
Oh man.
That's
Feel like my family has a house in Seaside. I don't know if any of you, if you've seen the Jersey Shore, that takes place in Seaside. So like we have a house there. I took Ara there. So that'd be like going to the shore store and getting like shirts that say "I heart Italian stallions," but the heart is the color of the Italian flag. You know, that's the kind of stuff they sell there.
I actually have a story about that.
About the Jersey Shore?
I have a story
Or an
about
Italian
the
stallion.
tackiness of Americana on the East Coast.
Oh.
So I visited my family in Rye, New Hampshire, which is a very, very small town on the coast of New Hampshire, all 17 miles of the coast. So we decided to go out to a Christmas tree festival. I don't know if any of you guys have been to one of these, but they are these absolutely phenomenal things. So we drove down to... There is a seaside in Massachusetts, and it's in a casino. So you go into this casino, and it is a Christmas tree decorating contest for charity. But imagine the vibe that people were channeling when they decorated these trees was like Midwest child beauty pageant.
Oh,
like explosion of glitter and tinsel and everybody
in
is
a
just
casino.
pounding alcohol at this event. It's totally a sight to see. You should go.
It's in a casino.
It's in a trashy East Coast Massachusetts vacation town
That
casino.
is pretty fucking
That's
hilarious.
funny, yeah.
That is good.
I can't recommend it more.
I'll keep that in mind when I'm in the East Coast in the wintertime. Go to a Christmas tree lighting.
A
inside
Christmas tree
casino.
festival.
Oh,
A
festival.
festival, not
A festival.
festival lighting.
Not a lighting, a festival.
Oh, jeez. Anybody else got a nice gift story, or do we want to bounce to a new topic? All right, let's bounce to a new topic. I'm getting blank stares from everybody here.
I was looking at your book.
All right. What are our thoughts on eggnog?
I love eggnog. To an extent.
Eggnog sucks. Anyways, moving on.
Oh, why do you think it sucks? Is it
it's-
too frothy for you?
Yeah, it's way too creamy. I hate milk and milk-like products. I don't
Why do
drink
you hate
milk.
milk? Why do you hate milk? It makes
It's
your
too
bones
creamy.
strong.
It's like it tastes like you're
I
drinking
think Freud would
butter.
have something to say about
Now
this.
listen, if
Maybe.
you're lactose intolerant, I understand.
I only
hating
drink
milk.
skim milk if I'm drinking milk at all.
Skim milk? What the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
And exactly,
That
I
sounds
don't like
something
the. It's
that's like off of foreskin or something.
I feel like you have to. You don't know what skim milk is,
I've never had skim milk in my life.
but you've
I don't know
heard
what
of
is.
it. It's just milk with 0% milk fat.
Oh, it sounds
They
like
strain it through
sounds
a
like
tube
water.
sock before.
Sounds like water.
It tastes like water. That's why it's good. It's the best milk. Shout out to.
Do you like
skim
coconut
milk.
water?
No, I hate coconut. We've
talked
been
about
over this.
Oh,
Well,
wait.
no, but if he likes milk water, he probably likes coconut water.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, it's way too fucking
Oh,
sweet, man.
You know what? The best milk that I've ever had is in Mexico. It's I don't
Top
know-
10 milks.
I
New
just-
episode.
I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is about the Mexicans and their fucking milk products. But their milk in Mexico, like when we go and visit our family, one of the biggest things I look forward to is the coffee that they have in the morning and the milk that we have with all the sweetbreads and shit. It's just I don't know what it is.
It's like dulce de leche milk, like with sugar and
No,
caramel.
It's just regular milk, but it's in the in the paper cartons. It's super simple, and I'm telling you, some of the best milk you'll ever have in your life. It's just outstanding. We went there last year for Christmas, and man, Christmas time in Mexico is a gorgeous place. It's Christmas lights all around the city. You can take a little tour bus of Mexico City, and it's not a shady one that you'll get like, you're not going to wake up in a bathtub with your kidneys missing or get your face skinned off. You're going to go on a bus with a whole bunch of other tourists, and and they're going to take you around Mexico City, and you can see everything. Now, the sad thing about this one was we went on it, and the big earthquake in Mexico happened, earlier in around like August of last year. Big earthquake. It was fucked. So we were on the bus, and they're taking us around, and everywhere that was like, they took us to like a small area that is like completely evacuated of people. Like, just because of the earthquakes. It's like buildings are crumbled to the ground. It looks like somebody bombed it. Buildings were crumbled to the ground, and then there's just big, like, apartment buildings or office buildings that are all empty, but they have Christmas lights on them now because it's the holidays. But, I mean, regardless, it was very sad, but, Mexico comes together as a whole, and they recover pretty well. But Mexico in the wintertime is a great place. 100% recommended. Don't go to a resort town if you want to see the real Mexico in the wintertime. go to Mexico City, enjoy it. Go with a Mexican or with a legit tour guide.
A Mexican American?
A Mexican American like myself. So what we're cracking into right now is my favorite Elysian beer. I remember we had a talk about Elysians last week.
Yeah.
And so this is the Men's Room Red. You know, I don't know if you guys listen to the Men's Room or Colin when you were living here in Seattle, if you listen to the Men's Room.
I've only been gone 6 months.
He only grew up here.
You've only been gone for 6 months?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's been like
I feel like it's been a year.
Well, also, you realize that I didn't work with you guys for a year before that.
That's
I left.
true.
Oh,
you know what?
okay.
He's right. Yep, he's got a point.
Yeah.
But he still lived in the old party house down
See,
there or
all these
whatever.
fucking IPAs are making me dumb.
Are they still there?
Forgetting.
They're still there.
Yeah, they're still there.
My friend Claude's still there.
They must have renewed. I don't even know
Claude,
who's
you-
in charge.
Claude's there. Amanda's there.
Claude
and
needs. We need to
Joanne's
get
there.
Claude on this show, man.
God, that man
We-
is fabulous.
Exactly.
do.
We need to get Claude
We really
on this
do
show.
need to get that guy on here because he was telling me that he had to kill a rat the other day in the kitchen. Your guys' old house has a rat problem.
Yeah,
yeah,
I had a
it's
rat
a
problem when we lived there, man. Our house here has a rat problem, although we think now we're just hearing them scurrying around on the roof because the roof is real low, like right there, and that's like right where our bed
They're
is.
probably just running around
I've got
outside.
That's what we
rat
thought
stories,
too.
if
We
you guys
thought they
want
were.
rat stories,
No, we
I've
don't
got
need
a
to
lot
go
of
into
them.
rat stories. We're already 40 minutes deep, and we haven't even talked about the Christmas party at my house 2 years ago yet.
Oh man, that Christmas party. You know what? A quick shout out to the beer. You know,
Yeah, we
Elysian, the Elysian Original Men's Room Red.
It's very smooth.
Very smooth. It's a
Yeah.
good beer. It's my favorite Elysian beer. And when I go down to concerts at CenturyLink or go to Mariners games, Elysian is
You
where
stop
I
at the
go
tap
for
room,
beer.
yeah.
And there you go. I have some there.
It's not
Good
like
time.
overpoweringly sweet and sticky like reds can be. It's like it's just smooth and drinkable.
It's got a hint of fruit,
Elysian's
too.
good. It's surprising because like Anheuser-Busch InBev bought them, but they really haven't fucked them up like they usually do with their microbrews. They've just kind of let them keep doing what they do. So we'll see how long that lasts. But
You don't
for
like
now,
Busch? You don't like Busch beer?
I don't like InBev and Anheuser-Busch and that they buy
They put
these
race
small
cars-
microbrews and they just try and fuck them up. But that's a whole separate topic
They
for a
put
separate
they
day.
put like NASCAR racers on their fucking 30 racks.
I know.
Like last year, and I bought like three
That's
30 racks
amazing,
for a
by the
party.
way.
Their
Oh,
whole
yeah,
Bud
amazing.
Light ad campaign is about how craft beer sucks and you should just drink yellow piss water. Anyway,
Dude, don't talk shit.
I know
about
you
cheap
love
beer.
Bud Light, man. I know, and
It's
I know.
killing me here.
You know
But
what
then
I
again, I
really
don't like
appreciate about Portland, though, is that you can go to any show at a bar, and the drink of choice of aging hipsters is still Rainier.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Yeah.
local.
There you
That's
go.
the local PBR. All right.
Go ahead. Let's kick it off into our. By the way, pardon me for the burp. Going into the holiday party at your house 2 years ago, which our
Well,
beloved
just
friend
holiday
Claude-
parties in general. But yeah.
Holiday parties in general, but this one we definitely have to talk about because one like equals one prayer for Vito.
This was like the first time we hung out with Vito outside of work.
It
Like
is,
we had
because,
known him for like 2
because
weeks
we
at
knew
this
Vito
point.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then our fucking boss Chris, that fucking doofus,
forgot
he
about
was there. Lucas showed up. The Huskies were playing Alabama in the playoffs the next day. Oh my lord. I have never blacked out so fast. I blacked out at that party for...
I know, I
and
was
probably-
bartending it.
Oh yeah, I blacked out at that party. Probably, a good like an hour and a half into the party. I didn't recall much after except for waking up downstairs, like tucked in. Somebody tucked me in.
It was
tucked
Vivi.
in.
It was Vivi.
Oh yeah, that's right. 'cause
Surprisingly.
I kept trying to go home like a dumb shit, and she hid my keys and then threw my shoes somewhere. So I just like, you know what, I'm gonna sleep on the couch, and I was tucked in. And
Shout
I
out
wake up-
Viviana. She's a big fan. She listens to every episode.
Yeah, shout out to Viviana. She was a good soul. She was fun, very very bubbly, that woman. I wake up and I'm hot and I'm cold at the same time. Like I have the flu. I have a gnarly headache, and Claude is sleeping on the tiled floor right next to me. And I'm like, oh boy. But I know this party was a very small window. It was like a Secret Santa type deal, right? So we had the deli Secret Santa.
And then everybody just got hammered.
Well, it was
immediately.
So we all sit down to like exchange gifts, and we're exchanging gifts. It's nice and fun. And next thing I know, it's like oh, I'm listening to fucking Slayer with Lucas in the basement at full blast
Yeah,
at
I was there
midnight.
too.
I'm like, oh, this is fucking dope. My nose is about to bleed.
Taylor was pissed. There was a pretty epic photo of me in my Green Man suit and cape.
I
your
think
Green Man
I have
suit.
I have a favorite moment from this party where things were starting to get a little bit out of hand and I was mixing the drinks. So I see Joe is getting like really drunk and I'm like, hey, Viviana, I think Joe's a little bit drunk. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this next drink mostly just fruit juice. He won't even be able to tell. No vodka, right? So I go down there and I'm about to hand it to Joe. And Joe is standing there chugging directly out of a bottle of Fireball.
That was Lucas Bacon's fault. That was Lucas Bacon's fault.
You know what, dude?
So
that
somebody
Fireball-
finish off the other half.
Hey, I don't know if Lucas Bacon is a listener, but man, I'll tell you what. That Fireball was definitely the kicker to the party that like really set it to the.
That really did.
That
yeah.
put it into overtime. That put the party into
The pedal
overtime.
to the metal.
You know, because we were exchanging gifts and we were drinking. I think there was people drinking IPAs. There was people drinking cheap beer, having fun. And then the Fireball showed up, and it's like, we have a half gallon of Fireball. How are we gonna deal with this? And then next thing I know,
Oh, we dealt with it.
fucking Joe's drinking out of the bottle. I'm drinking out of the bottle. Vito is sitting there just taking it to the face. So I'm downstairs and we're listening to Slayer, but Vito had gone upstairs. And Taylor got mad at us, the middle floor
Old roommate, yeah.
And
Bit of a drama queen. He was a drama student, so.
yeah, drama student, drama queen.
Yeah.
Didn't like me very much. Didn't take a liking to me very much. Anywho, doesn't matter. Walked up the stairs. And as soon as I go into the kitchen, I see Vito trying to sit down on a chair. But it was like as if somebody had pulled the chair from out of Vito's ass, and he went straight to the floor.
He went from 0 to 60 so
He did.
fast.
Everyone did.
Vito,
What the hell happened?
Vito hopped.
I drank half a bottle of Fireball
Touche.
and the mixed like shake drink that Vivi made
Oh,
me.
yeah.
It was
I forgot
that
about
fucking
Daiquiris.
smoothie. It was that smoothie
And I
drink.
shotgunned 2 beers on top of it.
Yeah, we were shotgunning
And then
beers.
Vivi made those Jello shots.
Oh my god.
I had those too. Yeah.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Was that what the same party when Christian, you and Lucas Baker were singing?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What's his name? Oh baby, you.
Oh yeah,
Biz
yeah,
Marquee.
yeah.
You and Lucas Baker were,
Yeah,
Baker were singing Biz Marquee
we were
outside.
outside singing Biz Marquee, and we freestyled for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
and it was just a shit.
It was
show.
awful.
It was
so
terrible.
bad.
Because every time we would lose track, Joe, you would come in and hit us with the chorus. So you hit us with the chorus, and then we would be like slumped enough to be like, wait a minute, I think I know what rhymes. And then one of us would start going again, and it went on for like 45 minutes.
kept
And we
going.
probably drank. Fuck.
Blowing up over there, bud.
No, fuck. Sorry, folks. Let me turn this phone down. I didn't think it was
Cold 45.
Merry
Man, that was
Chrismahaunakwanzakah, folks.
Chrismahaunakwanzakah.
Big shout out to Ryan Lee, frequent listener. He gave us the episode. Let's ignore my cell phone.
Ryan Lee.
God, that party was fucking great.
That was crazy. No, Claude's reaction was my favorite because my friend Katie was able to secure both a mattress and sleeping bag, and Claude slept on the bare tile floor and was like freezing cold by the morning. He's like, how come she gets a bed and bag? That ain't fair. He was salty the next morning.
Dude.
I was like, sorry.
Somebody gave him one pillow and he put his head under the pillow. That's just how he sleeps. The guy's a character. We have to get him on here.
He's a unique one, yeah.
He is a character. And
If
so,
you get him on here as someone who has lived with him in the past, I would recommend have him describe any recipe of anything that he cooks. And ask him to describe his cuisine. And it's
Story
awesome.
time with
Everybody's
It is
Claude.
absolutely awesome.
because last year I went to your guys' house around this time of season, and there's a drink that Romanians had for the holiday. It's
Elderflower cordial, right?
It looks like it's like in a 2-liter, and it looks like piss. It looks like fermented
Yes, but
piss.
it is his elderflower cordial. But for a while he was doing like the keto thing. But
Oh, boy.
I've seen him
Butter.
fry up an entire pan of taco cheese
Sorry, taco cheese?
Yes, 3 cheese blend, and then take a sausage and wrap it in the center, and then bake it, and then eat the entire thing with tartar sauce.
So that sounds awful.
That's what I'm
really
saying. Is
good.
get him just to describe some of his recipes. It's pretty great.
That's our goal for 2018 is
thought
to have
it was.
Ryan Lee and Claude on episodes.
Yeah.
All up in here.
I think we should have Claude bring like 3 dishes or something and like explain
3
each
Claude
one
specials.
on the podcast.
Have him
my
do
God.
like a chopped episode in
Jeez.
your kitchen.
And we do like a taste test.
my God.
We do a taste test of Claude's cuisine.
No, tell him it's not the keto. We're not doing his keto recipe because I don't want to eat butter. We were watching football at my house, and he goes, "Do you guys have any butter?" I go, "Yeah." He comes back out, and we're all in the living room. We're at my dad's house watching the Seahawks, and then he unwraps his butter and starts eating the stick of butter.
Oh, ew.
And
Man,
first
he's a
off,
fucking
we're all
character.
staring at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I have to eat this for my diet."
Oh my god.
And then he goes, "Don't worry though, I'll leave you guys some money for the stick of butter." I'm like, "Oh my god."
All right. I don't want to go on a 20-minute tangent about Santa Claus.
Santa Claude. Oh, I love
Let's,
that guy.
That would be a magical Christmas.
Let's change topics here. Favorite Christmas songs / movies.
Oh man, the fucking Christmas song from that movie.
That's
that
helpful.
Is the topic,
I'm
Christian.
Mr. 101.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, we talked about this last week,
We
didn't we?
did.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
song is a
I
banger.
actually like. The
I
song,
think I tagged that in
despite
the
how many
episode
times
as
I've heard it.
weird ass grocery store music.
I like that song.
I like the song in the context of actually watching the movie and
Yes.
not in the context of a grocery store.
Now, what about favorite Christmas movies? And I'm going to preface this.
Too much, baby.
Just because a movie takes place at Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
Die
so
Hard's a Christmas
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, and neither is Better Off Dead. Okay, Christmas movies have a very distinct formula where one of the main character needs to learn a lesson about giving and shit. Okay, just because it happens at Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
I got one.
Home Alone's a Christmas movie.
Yes.
That is a Christmas movie. But for my childhood, my family's tradition is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, that's
Fuck
that's a
yes.
good one.
That's a classic in my book.
Yeah.
All of the old claymation animated
So-
ones just kind of
oh,
weird
yeah.
me out. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
You
You didn't
They
dig
don't
it?
like The Year Without a Christmas? I'm Mr. Heat. That's gonna be our fucking theme song.
That was a fun one, but I do have to
Mr.
say
100 degree.
the other one's a classic.
Uh,
I love Treasure Island. I've watched that so many times.
yeah. That one is kind of
Muppet
creepy,
Treasure Island?
actually.
Yeah,
it
like
is.
in
Yeah.
retrospect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No way. I
my
took
dad, my dad used to make us watch those movies. The
claymation or
the claymation ones. So they just kind of became part of like my life.
Yeah.
Around this time, we always watch Rudolph. We watch A Year Without Santa Claus, and then the Snowman.
Frosty?
You know, Frosty.
That's not a claymation though. It's animated.
No, it's not. It's just a.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the like animated like 20-minute one or
Oh, yeah.
whatever with the song.
Could you imagine being the Grinch? That
Yes.
sucks, dude. Fucking everybody.
I've been
in town hates your
accused
guts.
I've been accused of being a Grinch before because I hate Christmas. I don't hate Christmas. I just hate the idea of the Christmas spirit. And let me clarify that. I don't think you need an excuse to be kind to people. That's why I hate Christmas spirit. Anyways, carry on.
I think you should be kind to people whenever.
Exactly.
But-
Exactly.
I mean, if you want to talk about Christmas spirit, I worked at Home Depot.
Christmas spirits.
Worked at Home Depot, and this fucking lady bought a Christmas tree, and she made us tie it to the roof of her car. And when she was departing, we said Merry Christmas, and we said Merry Christmas because she bought a fucking Christmas tree. So we were just assuming, well, if you're buying a Christmas tree, you're celebrating Christmas. She fucking told my managers that we told her Merry Christmas and that she doesn't celebrate Christmas and that she was there to buy the tree because of the good deal. And I got written up for it. Big shout out to that lady for that Christmas spirit. I definitely needed it that year. Christmas movies like Home Alone, those movies are like the Christmas movies that I can watch every year. Home Alone and Rudolph, the claymations, I'll watch them every year if I have the time. And the best Christmas movie of all time, folks. Bad Santa.
Ooh.
That's a classic. I did just receive a note about Christmas songs. I told to shout out Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues, classic Irish punk band. And then that song by the Waitresses. All right. Anyways, back to movies. Yes, Bad Santa is a classic. Billy Bob
I think
Thornton.
it's pronounced the Pogues.
Whatever. I don't.
Fact check, dude.
We'll ask you about your favorite albums and have our shitty ska conversation in the next episode. Look forward to that.
Yeah, the Bad Santa. I saw it when it came out in theaters when I was a kid. Probably not the best kid movie to go watch. But it's funny because the way that it was advertised, it didn't seem like it was going to be as inappropriate as it was, right? But then again, my dad and my mom never gave a shit about what was inappropriate, what wasn't. So we went to go see it just because it was a Christmas movie. And so...
Rock solid performance by Billy Bob
Oh
Thornton,
my
by
God,
the way.
it was one of his best.
Is
And
that
so-
your underwear? Part of it. Where's the rest of it? No, don't answer that.
Jesus Christ, kid, did you get dropped on your fucking head? On my head?
When I was in high school, we did like a physics trip to Six Flags because that was the thing that happened every year. Anyways, they played that movie for us on the bus, and one of my best friends was like this super Mormon guy, and he was so put off by this movie that he had his head against the seat in front of him and was covering his ears because he really didn't want to experience this as a good, upstanding Mormon gentleman.
Fuck you, Willie.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, come over here. Fuck you, Willie. Last time I hung out with you, I couldn't shit right for a week. See, that movie is a fucking classic. I don't care who you are. He's exploring mountains with his dad. That movie is genius. Even the second one, for what it's worth, the second one is pretty funny. It's not
I
as
stay
good.
away from
There was a
comedy
sequel?
sequels.
I do too. It's
didn't
not
know
as
that it
good as the
existed.
first one, but it does have its funny moments. I enjoyed it. It was funny.
Have you ever actually seen a comedy sequel do better than the original?
Now I'm trying to.
Pirates
rack
of
my
the
brain.
Caribbean.
That's not a comedy.
comedy.
And also, the
I was
sequel
making a joke.
sucks.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
you fooled me on that one.
Right, Zoolander 2.
Oh my
Meet
god, that
the
movie was
Fockers.
awful. Also awful.
Yeah, right. It's
Fuck, I'm
Yeah, I
trying
think
to
you're
think.
a
right.
joke is never funnier the
You're
second
right,
time.
yeah.
I think the problem with comedy sequels is they take what was great from the first one and redo it too many times in the new one.
Hangover 2, for example.
Hey, whoa. Oh! That movie is better than the original.
False.
Hangover 2 is better than the
It's
Hangover.
beat for beat the same. They're just in Thailand instead of in Vegas, man. The
It's
movie
the
sucks.
fucking Hangover. What do you expect? Of course it is.
Growth.
But,
I expect
dude,
character
that
growth.
movie
I've
was
never
so
seen a
good.
Hangover movie.
The Hangover.
You're not missing
You haven't
out.
seen either?
Neither have I.
See, the Hangover
There's
3.
three, yeah.
The Hangover 3 was like a crock of shit. But part 1 and 2 are hilarious. Yeah, part 2, they're in Thailand. And, Thailand of all places is a
Thailand.
wacky place.
The only thing I know about The Hangover is one weird fact that I learned from Reddit, where there's a character where there's a scene where one of the characters is missing a tooth, right? And he pulls it out and he's like
Yeah.
really confused about it. That actor is actually missing that tooth.
Oh, yeah.
really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know.
So
Oh, yeah.
they
Ed Helms.
they happen to use his prosthetic tooth for that scene.
That's funny. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's
I
pretty
think
good.
he
That's
also,
pretty good.
I think he actually took a punch from Mike Tyson in that movie. I think
Really?
Mike Tyson meant to accidentally, meant to miss the
Peter
hit.
punch.
Ended up punching not Ed Helms, but Galifian.
Zach Galifianakis?
Yes, he punched him.
I
in
feel
the
like
face.
taking a punch from Mike Tyson now is terrible, but taking a punch from Mike Tyson 10 or 20 years ago
I wouldn't do it.
is worse.
I wouldn't do it.
Tigers love pepper. They hate cinnamon. That's the best
I think I
line in
saw
the
a
movie.
picture on Facebook the other day that was for $20 million, would you take a uppercut from prime Mike Tyson?
Hell no.
No, I'm not doing it. I don't
That's
think
That's a
20
shattered
million-
jaw.
$20 million is not going to fix the brain damage or, this is not boxing glove and head protection. This is him hitting you raw Mike Tyson and knocking your fucking brains loose. I'm not taking that hit. Because you're not even going to remember that you're getting $20 million, so they're probably not going to give it to you.
You'll get to pay for your life support.
There you go. I think he's going to break it. So first off, you're going to have to wire your jaw shut, and then you're going to be rattled for life.
Yeah, with no protection, fuck that. In the head too.
In the head,
maybe
uppercut.
A gut shot. Oh,
Uppercut.
yeah, right to the chin. Ugh. No,
Yep.
thank you.
From Prime Tyson.
No, thank
you're
you.
You're toast. That could
All
kill.
right.
So I could just kill a man.
Can't understand.
I could just get a man.
We're about an hour in. We got any
I
more
was listening to
Christmas-specific thoughts?
I was listening
Or
to Rage Against the Machine's version.
Oh,
of
that
song.
one is so good.
It's good.
oh,
It's
which
not a
which
Christmas song,
song? Oh,
It's not a Christmas song.
stay on brand.
Oh man, that's
Apparently, there's a Bad Religion Christmas album,
That's kind of awesome.
right?
That's kind of awesome.
So how long did you make it into the last Christmas challenge?
I didn't make it very far. I didn't even realize it
What's the
existed.
Christmas challenge?
The last Christmas challenge? How long into the month of December can you go without hearing Wham's Last Christmas?
It has
The
to be
original
Wham's.
version, yeah.
Not any.
Not the
covers.
Taylor Swift cover, not
I
any of the
actually have
covers.
never heard Last Christmas.
The song, yes, you have.
No.
Do we need to sing it again? Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but
Oh, okay,
the
well, I
very
guess-
next
Yeah,
day.
exactly. I had the same thing.
Literally,
You see, Joe and I are so good at singing that song that we make you remember.
yeah, like George Michael,
What's
man.
funny about that is because you mentioned that challenge to me, and I told you that I had not heard that song. That following Monday, so the next day after we recorded,
The day after.
boom, I heard it.
Actually,
It came
Me
on.
too.
I gotta mention this morning when I was waiting in class for class to start. I'm a teaching assistant, and the instructor plays music before class started. First song on his playlist was Wham's Last Christmas. I'm like, God damn it. Oh, by the way, for those who want a visual, Colin looks exactly like a broke down George Michael. So, speaking of Wham,
Did you go as George Michael's one year, or was that
for Christmas
just something that? No, not for Christmas.
or
but
for Halloween, I mean,
Halloween.
No.
I mean, if you went for George Michael's as Christmas, your folks might be concerned.
your traditional Christmas costume. All right.
Yeah, I feel like that maybe might have to be next year's Halloween.
I think it should be. I
Yeah.
think it should be.
You gotta let the hair grow out a little bit more.
should go
No, that's the plan.
The
You
the
should go as,
shagadelic
the
like you had it
edgier-
before,
the
yeah.
edgier, yeah, the edgier version of him, like when he did Faith.
Oh, yeah, like
all
that.
those leathers. Oh yeah, all the leather and all that.
Great.
Maybe even the father figure. That album, the album cover for Faith. That was like edgy George.
I'll
Michael.
start working out and stocking up in hairspray right now.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
I mean, as far as Christmas music, it's not my thing, but I'm not a Grinch. If it's on, it's on, whatever. I'm not like one of those people who goes to work and is like, oh my God, I can't listen to Christmas
I accept
music
it if
because I'm
it's
fucking bullshitting
after
myself."
Thanksgiving. When they start
Yes.
playing it like early November, I'm like, fuck off.
Honestly, I appreciate it more now that I'm not working in retail.
Yes,
There you go.
that does
It's
help
That
If
does
you
help.
work
because
in
you don't
any
hear it
sort of
nearly as
store,
much. Yeah.
It will drive you insane.
I'm convinced there's only like a dozen Christmas songs that have all been recorded 500 times.
I
Can we
have
write new
one-
Christmas songs?
I can one up you on this one. So my first job was bagging in a grocery outlet. And
Which
My-
grocery outlet was
the
that?
Lake City one.
Oh fuck!
Yeah. So it's pretty scuzzy.
Fuck!
And
Oh boy!
my boss loved country music. And the only soundtrack that we had for the store was Sirius XM. So there is a country Christmas channel. And that's all he played for about 3 weeks straight.
No.
And there's about only 16 country Christmas songs that have ever been written.
Who even does country Christmas songs? I can't tell you. I mean, probably fucking Rasco Flats or whatever they're called. But I can't tell you.
It was like the croony ooh kind of country too. It was.
Oh my God!
It was not good.
See, I love country music. I mean, I love country music, but oh my God, country
See,
Christmas music.
I like the classic Christmas songs. I wouldn't mind if those were what were played, but I feel like they have a playlist of like 12 really shitty Christmas song covers.
All I want for Christmas is
you.
Is this a cover? Because that's a Mariah Carey original.
There's a cover of it. CeeLo Green. If you thought CeeLo Green couldn't get any
That's
worse.
so funny. We were talking
Guess
about
what?
CeeLo
Wasn't
Green
that
earlier
done
today.
for Love Actually? I feel like that was done.
That movie sucks.
Love Actually. What the hell is
All
that?
right. You don't
It
remember
was
that?
a
Hugh
Hugh
Grant?
Grant
It's like a
movie.
series of... It's awful. Another awful Christmas movie.
Wasn't the guy from The Walking Dead in that too?
Which one? I don't know. It's been a while.
Rick,
It's been a while.
whatever his name. Oh, hey, it's
I've
been a while.
gone and fucked things up.
Yes, sir.
Just
Butt Rock.
like I always
Tim.
do.
Tim was talking about Butt Rock.
He didn't know what the hell butt rock
He
was.
didn't know what Butt Rock was.
Tim, is rock that sucks. All
And Joe's wrong on that one because Butt Rock fucking rules.
right, we don't have to go into a whole butt rock tirade right
We
now.
don't, but I just have to. I mean,
The
Butt Rock-
darkness is great. They turned it.
That's
the
not.
Darkness.
They are intentionally a parody.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but
I
still.
believe in a thing called love. Just
there's a chance we can make it now. I love that song.
Do we have any more Christmas? I think we should wrap and start the next one.
You want to wrap up this gift and go to the next one?
Yeah. The next one's gonna be fucking lit as fuck. I'm half drunk already.
So happy Chrismahaunakwanzakah, folks.
From
Another
our heart
from
to
our heart.
yours.
Thank you. And that means so much to me. Oh my God. That means so much to have you on the show. And it's a pleasure to have you on our New Year's show as well. And with that being said, big shout out to Ryan for the name because that shit made me laugh big time in the break room. As always, folks, we love you here at the Beefy Boys Bud Club. Joe, go ahead and give them a rundown on where they can find us.
Colin, we call this section the Surge Protector because it's full of plugs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you can find us on beefyboys.com. That's our website. Newest episodes uploaded first there. Rate us on iTunes. We're also on Spotify. Our merch store is www.cafepress.com/beefyboysmerch1. Twitter at beefy_boys. Instagram at beefyboysbud, emphasizing the D because my sister says it sounds like I'm saying butt every time. Beefy Boys Bud Club. Facebook.com/beefyboys. That's our Facebook page. Yeah.
Maybe we
Date
are
us
a
every
Bud Club.
Monday, and we love hearing from you guys. As you can tell, we read almost every comment we get.
We sure do.
Just listen over the man. All right. Signing off. This is Joe, and
I'm Christian.
Vito.
And I'm special guest Colin.
see you guys next week.